Hello, angels, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Celia. I'm a 6-2 projector with the mission of creating heaven on earth, birthing this beautiful world into being where all living beings can thrive and prosper in love, liberty, light, and pure self-expression. And today I want to dive a little bit into a bit of a continuation of the last video where we were talking a little bit about Star Wars, a little bit about the spiritual war that's actually happening. And I want to bring now a little bit of shamanic perspective on this. So the truth is, I know, some parts of the Bible religions think it that, oh, everything is from God, so everything is good, right? And the truth is that evil does exist. It truly does exist. But evil is simply just the absence of light. And so evil, from my understanding, are fragments of light that have been disconnected from source. So they actually no longer get energy or fuel from source. So they have to become parasitic by nature in order to survive. And that's because they start living out agendas that are not in alignment with God. And because they start to live out agendas that are not in alignment with God, they have to be parasitic from beings that actually are connected to source so that they can get some sort of fuel to continue on that agenda. And that's why we have on this planet beings that are, feeding off of human energy, humans that are connected to God to actually live out their missions and to, just become even more distorted. But the paradox with parasitic energies is that they always end up self-destructing. Why? Because they always end up killing the host eventually. And when they kill the host, they kill their energy source, and so they kill themselves in the process. And so that's not very sustainable, right? And that's why, some people maybe fear like, oh, apocalypse or human destroying themselves would actually more so be because of the parasitic energies that have been feeding off of human negative energy. So they've created so much negative energy so that humans eventually like self-destruct. However, the more sustainable way and how we can actually, really, let's say, heal any evil in the world and actually also win the Star Wars is to bring light into the darkness, bring light into the evil. The way that we can truly transmute something evil is the way that Jesus did it. He would only see God in everything. And so when there is an evil act or when there is an evil energy, the way that we truly heal it is by seeing it in its godly nature and seeing it for what it truly is. And that's the same way we heal ourselves, right? And so that's why we know how this operates, because in order to heal the wounds we have within ourselves, we have to bring love. We have to bring acceptance. We have to bring, the actual godly energy and nature that we truly are made of, which is unconditional love. And when we operate from that point of view, there is actually no war to win because war doesn't exist in that mindset. There's just confused energy or distorted energy to bring back home. So that's something just to digest for a moment. There is actually no war to win. There's just distorted energy to bring back home. And this, of course, starts within ourselves. And that's why any wars can only exist on this realm if we have internal wars and if there's enough people in the collective that have internal wars. And so the work starts from within. And that's why I'm personally so passionate about life purpose activation, because life purpose activation is actually one of the highest forms of bringing light into all aspects of us that exist out there. Because when we live and activate our purpose, we live in the highest alignment with who we truly are. And as we do, we bring light into all of the aspects where before there was darkness. And in that state, we become stewards of heaven on earth. We walk this planet with a healing presence. And it's possible for us to become so whole again that our very presence heals wherever it goes. And this is what I envision Jesus was. He was a healing force wherever he went because he was so connected with himself, so connected with God, so connected with his highest self, that his very presence would bring more harmony into the environment. And that's exactly what happens when we live our life purpose. That's why life purpose activation is a prerequisite for the creation of heaven on earth. And that's why I always say that every single life purpose activated is a step on the staircase to heaven on earth. Because as you activate and live your purpose, you're going to ripple it into, the person next to you and next to you and next to you. Your fractal lines and everywhere. So yes, evil does exist. It is an illusion, however. It's a distortion of light, or it's rather to say it correctly, it's a lack of light, right? So when we bring light into it, we heal it. And that's also somehow usually one of the most difficult things is to bring light into the evil. When we see evil, we tend to want to fight it. With more evil, it's not fair, it's not just, we have to stop this, whatever it might be, instead of transmuting that evil within us, because when we react to evil outside of us, it's actually only because we have something inside of us that's triggered. So when we transmute that evil within us and we see only the light in the external world, suddenly the world becomes beautiful again, and we are part of creating heaven on earth. So my angels, this may sound very esoteric, but I hope it lands for you, because this has been a huge realization for me, bringing me back to what I've always believed, that everything is good. And honestly, I've had some existential crisis these last few weeks of really questioning everything I believed. And as I had this realization this morning, it was like, wow, now I understand what people said, or now I understand what people meant when they said that, all is good. And eventually it's unavoidable that everything will return to the light, because it's impossible for distortion to exist for very long, because it is not natural. Everything will return to the light and everything will become good, because that's the natural state of it. Everything we see in creation comes from God, even if it's evil. And if it's evil, it just means it's a distorted piece of God that's waiting to come home. And you can be one of those home bringers. Living your purpose is truly the highest form of service you can give to this planet. And it's also going to be the thing that's going to serve you the most in the best of ways, because it's going to bring you everything you ever desired in your life, and it's going to help you become everything that you've always been, but that maybe you rejected, neglected, or hid from in any place within yourself. And that's when suffering happens. Suffering happens when we are fighting who we truly are. Living your purpose is coming back to your most blissful state, and this will naturally help you create heaven on earth, and it will also naturally activate eternal life within your system if that's what you desire and that's what you feel aligned with. And so if you're curious to know more about how to live your purpose, I am a life purpose activator. I have created a system called Abundant Purpose Activator that is a very powerful transformative healing system that helps remove, clear, and integrate any distortion within your field and within your system, bring it back to alignment and to light, and bring you into alignment with your purpose. I've now transformed over 400 lives with this methodology, and I'm so excited to share it with you as well. So if you're curious to know more, I have a free masterclass below for you. Check out the links below, and yeah, let's do this. Let's create heaven on earth. Come join us here in the channel with the mission of creating heaven on earth. And I'm so excited for this beautiful world we're creating. It's so glorious and it's so beautiful, and I cannot wait to celebrate with you of the glory of God. This beautiful world where all of God's children may prosper and thrive and celebrate in joy and ecstasy. So thank you so much, my angels. I can't wait to see you. We also have a Heaven on Earth movement happening 5 to 7th of October, sorry, where we're going to come together and really prosper in the frequency of heaven on earth. And this is going to be such a beautiful free day event that you can join via the link below as well. Thank you so much for being part of creating heaven on earth. I love you, and have a most beautiful, beautiful day.